This is not really my topic of conversation on the average, so this is for those of you that are still looking for love. So I'm just going to kind of get right into it. Now, I have a few different cards here. Just want to So the questions that I kind of asked were in around like, what does this person do? What is the time frame before they're sort of coming in? Again, if it's not your story, it's not your story. But this is just sort of something I thought I would attempt to do. I don't generally tend to do a lot of the deeper relationship reads, but take it as it resonates. So, okay, so what I see here is I feel like this person starts off very quietly coming towards you. And I feel like they might be sort of watching you at some point here. Now, I'm going to go through some of the cards here. Nine of Pentacles. This is more along the lines as well as to what they do. Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Knight of, and Page of Cups. So there's some energy here, like I said, that's kind of romantic sort of energy. And I do feel like because they're coming in as a page, it feels like it's very it's information, like they're coming in, it's very subtle, it's not a strong energy at first. So I feel like there's more of a conversation that sort of sparked by curiosity, and then an exchange of ideas, something like that. And it can be like a coincidental meeting where you're just catching their attention, like just very subtly. So it's not anything that's going to be like a welcome in with, friend group event, anything like that. This feels like a person, like I said, with the Page of Cups energy, that's very open-hearted and emotionally curious. And I feel like they're quite sincere. There's not a rehearsed kind of energy about them. It feels like they're very kind of raw. And what I mean by that is more authentic. They're real. Their approach to you is soft, but I feel like it's bold, as though someone knows um, that you're something unique and different, and they won't ever find that again. There's something about that quality or that thought in their head. Now, it feels like with the Knight of Wands, it's kind of an in and out energy, as though, this person isn't really around all the time or anything. This is somebody where things move fast. So it feels like, they could be in and out. Maybe they're juggling a lot, which kind of feels like that to me because of all of the Wands energy there. But it feels like they're juggling an awful lot. So things move very fast in their life, and it could even be a little bit chaotic. But they're very ambitious. I feel like there's a strong, passionate, kind of a tough career path, where there's also a lot of pressure that's involved with it because of the Five of Wands. It's like a very competitive industry. But again, 10 of Wands, it feels like they're carrying a lot of responsibilities, and they just keep pushing through, and again, it feels like they've got a lot of pressure on them. Could be as well family dynamics, that kind of thing. But it feels like they keep going because they believe in themselves. They have a strong, solid belief in themselves and in their future. And again, even when we go back to that Knight of Wands energy. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where my other one was, because there was quite a few mixed cards here of knights. So, and we have a lot of the pages here as well. So that's an indicator that this is very fast moving kind of person. Like it just feels like they don't have time to mince words or something to that effect. But either way, this could very well be somebody, I would say, that could be dealing with like banking or even accounting or investing. I mean, it's kind of broad based in some way, because it feels like they're somehow also connected to. Hi there, Henny. But it feels like they're somehow also connected to, again, there's finances uh, prominent here. There's a certain level of independence and a lot of wealth that's around them. So again, that's coming through strongly, and maybe they deal with investing as well. But there's engineering or construction that also comes up, and again, maybe they're dealing with real estate. Maybe that's why that's coming in here as well. But there's also something about they are somehow connected to, like, it's entrepreneurial for sure, but there's somehow something that's also, because we've got the King of Pentacles in here with Four of Wands and the Ace of Swords. So I mean, to me, this really feels like it's a stable career position, whatever this is. But I'm strongly picking up like a lot of different things. So it's almost like they maybe they deal with construction, workers, and it's dealing with real estate. And so there's a lot of, investment banking and that kind of thing. But there's something along that line. I would say they're not really flashy, but they are consistent. They know how to build a foundation. They may work for themselves or in the process of creating a longer term financial situation here, because they don't chase trends. This is somebody who's really, they build things brick by brick, one step at a time. I would say that they do make probably close to 100,000 a year or something like that, or they're working toward that. I do feel like they invest and they plan, and there's a lot of growth, and it's incremental. Again, I still feel like this person they admire your elegance, something like that. They feel like you are emotionally intelligent and insightful, and that there's a real depth in you. I want to say when we get to sorry, we also have some other cards on the side here, but we'll go to those ones here too. We also have the Three of Pentacles, so that's where I was picking that up. Again, I think they see you as someone who can learn, you can create, and they like about you because there's a growth aspect. Now, there's something here, though, with the Three of Swords, and it also goes to the Four of Swords. So I would say that Three of Swords energy that you have maybe expressed, or perhaps, or giving off in some way that you've been hurt before, and so they're careful. They can feel that you've been hurt before, you can feel that they've been hurt before, maybe it's both, but healing, there's still an element of healing that's going with those cards, because 3 to 4, of course, is still progressive. So I feel like, you may worry that your heart is still healing, or that you're very guarded, and that makes them want to earn your trust rather than rush you. Now, when we get and of course, we also had the Star card out there that kind of speaks to the same. So we also have the Seven of Wands here. So they admire your strength. They know that you don't just let anyone in, somebody who's, stand your ground, all of that. I would say with the Ace of Cups here, this is and especially too, when it's followed up by the Star card. And we also had the Six of Wands. So, I mean, all of this energy really speaks to, potential in love. There's a victory in it for you. You are a light to them in some way. So there's something of a wish or a gift. You almost awaken their soft side. It's something like that. And I feel like they're drawn to your wisdom and your quick thinking. And I feel like they will respect your boundaries as well. I feel like they see you as warmth behind everything, but there's a fierceness about you that maybe just waiting to be unlocked, something like that. But either way, I feel like what they want from you is stability here, especially with the Four of Wands. So they want stability and success. King of Pentacles, that Four of Wands. They're looking for real love, not a fling. They want partnership, home, possibly family here as well. And again, we did have the Libra energy that came in here as well with the Queen of Swords. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius could also be relevant for them as well. But I feel like this person is, Ace of Swords. They're very transparent. There's a lot of truth coming out there. Like, they are willing to have that direct conversation. There's no games. They crave in. It's intellectually stimulating. It's emotionally fulfilling. And it just like there's a lot of momentum. Again, lots of wands here. So I feel like it's... they're not shy about showing you off, because somehow they feel uplifted being around you and supported. So now the good qualities about this person, as I've kind of already previously mentioned, they're loyal, stable, grounded. They're emotionally curious and love to grow and willingness to grow. They do respect your emotional boundaries, and they value connection over surface talk. So there's depth to this person, but the challenges are that they carry this 10 of Wands. We've got 5 of Wands, we've got Knight of Wands. There's a lot of action-packed sort of energy around this person. So I feel like they carry emotional or financial burdens from their past, and they have a tendency to overwork, and that's probably how they're kind of avoiding a lot of those issues, but it still means that they take on too much. So it could be slow to open up fully because of, their fear of failure or pressure. But again, we also had that Wheel of Fortune that was in there. And so that's a really good indicator of a big major shift. And it's also divine timing. And that feels like it could be soon. So that Page of Wands energy and the Page of Cups, it kind of speaks to maybe something like 1 to 3 months that you'll meet them, right, who they are. It sort of puts you on the radar, and then it works, in that so steady sort of manner. So there's more of an emotional spark, and it's almost like an accidental meant to be kind of situation. This could be you attending, attending something, whether it's a class or an event or whatever, online, shared interest, whatever, and it's just sort of accidental that way. And in summary, I would say that again, the person's emotionally has a fair amount of depth here, and again, they're ambitious and they're steady. They're interested in you because of what you are below the surface, and they feel like they could build up with you or around you, and together with you, all of that. It's something meaningful. And so there are going to be some moments of caution because you both have some weight from the past, but ultimately it does feel real and warm, authentic. It's, got potential. And on the outside of everything, I just feel like this thing in, like I said, sooner rather than later. But I do feel like that you would be, I do feel like it'll be more of an accidental kind of meeting, something like that, like I said. So, however that resonates for you, that's what I have for the next 1 to 3 months as for single Libras. Anyway.